and welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while. I've missed making videos, but I'm not creative enough to come up with any interesting ideas for over the break. So we are back. It is game week 22, I think. In this video, I will be doing a very brief recap of how my team did in game week 21, and then I will be talking about my transfer options. We've got 2 free transfers to play around with this week, which is very exciting. And I may also be using my triple captain chip, so stay tuned to find out who I'm thinking of triple captaining. Stay tuned for who I'm thinking of using, how do other people say it? Who I'm thinking of using my triple captain chip on. We'll go with that. Anyway, let's get into this video. Sorry, just one more thing, because I always forget to say, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm really close to 2,500 subscribers, so it would be great to get there. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of the links are in the description below, so do drop me a follow. Now we will actually look at my team. Here is the team. We got 80 points for the last game week, which I was over the moon with. We'll touch on the team quite briefly. Ben Mee, as always, my absolute hero. He is so nice, like Tilda Rice. I love this man so much. Trippier, as per usual, picked up the bonus points, 8 points in total, kept a clean sheet. 3 bonus, whoa, that's impressive. Yeah, really happy with Trippier. Kepa, one and only, again, made the right choice going for Kepa over Ward. He secured me 9 points. I will be honest, I did not see Chelsea keeping a clean sheet against Liverpool, but Liverpool also aren't really that impressive at the moment. So I probably was being a bit downbeat on Chelsea and gave them a bit of a tough time, but I am so happy. And he picked up the 2 bonus points and the 3 save points. Can't ask for more from a keeper. De Bruyne, disappointing. Odegaard, fine. Rashford, very happy with. Rashford is the best addition to my team so far. He scored a goal and he played the full 90 minutes. I don't see myself getting rid of Rashford anytime soon. Actually, probably, unless he has a really big flop, I don't see myself getting rid of him at all, to be honest. I'm really, really happy with him. He was probably the best decision I made when I did my wildcard, and I think a lot of my wildcard decisions were silly, so I'm going to take this one as a win. Andreas, 2 points. So Andreas and Mitrovic, I was expecting a lot more from them. I didn't expect them to win against Spurs, but I did see Mitrovic getting a goal, so that's very disappointing. Fulham are up against Chelsea this week, and as a Chelsea supporter, I am quite glass half empty with them at the moment. I don't know whether they're going to have a resurgence now. I'm not sure. I'm not getting too excited, but I could potentially see Fulham getting a goal against them. I don't know. It depends on so many factors. So I think Mitrovic may be benched this week, and I may put in some positive thinking for Chelsea. But the following week, they've got Forest. I am really keen to have Mitrovic for that Forest fixture. If you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I really do have a soft spot for Andreas, but I'm kind of going off of him a little bit. We'll go into that when we discuss transfers. Haaland. So I thought I had made a terrible decision captaining Haaland, because if we look at his previous game weeks, he hasn't had the best run for the last couple of weeks. However, when this happens, I always think they're just building themselves up for something big. And Haaland did that with his hat-trick. I was so over the moon. He scored 3 goals, picked up the 3 bonus points, and that was all in 60 minutes. This man, the machine is back. I'm so pleased that I decided to captain him. I was feeling a little bit bored about captaining Haaland every week, so I'm glad that I did last week. This week, I'm not sure if he is going to be my captain, but stay tuned to find out who I'm thinking of picking instead. And then Tony, massive flop, really disappointing, 1 point and a yellow card. So not the best, but thank goodness we had Haaland and good old Ben Mee picking me up those 6 points, and the others. Everyone else did well, but Ben Mee, what a guy. Now let's talk transfers. This is in an alliance no one saw coming. Me and my FPL nemesis have teamed up and we've given each other advice. Now, I don't know if he's setting me up to fail, but this is what we've come up with. The obvious fire that I have to put out on my team, and I was going to put it off, but I just need to do it, is Cancelo. He is on a season-long loan. There is no point having him on my team whatsoever. It's just absolute waste of time. So I'm going to get rid of Cancelo. Now, the one that I'm finding quite hard to get my head around doing, but I think I'm going to have to do it, is getting rid of Trossard. And this pains me because I think he is going to do some very big things. I don't know. I feel like he's got to prove himself at Arsenal. As we can see by his season history when he was with Brighton, he does just have random weeks where he goes above and beyond, and I kind of see that coming. But I'm nervous about his minutes and whether he'll start. So for Trossard's replacement, I think I'm going for Bruno. If we have a little look at his recent game weeks, last week he got an assist against Arsenal, he scored a goal against Palace, scored a goal against City, got an assist against Bournemouth. I mean, it's looking good for the guy, and I'm really keen to have him and Rashford both on my team. I'm very excited by the idea of it. And that also covers me for this week's double game week. They're playing Palace and they're playing Leeds, and they're both home games. I feel as though it's all falling into place, but it could be falling into place in an FPL way, which means I'm absolutely doomed. All of my United players are going to blank, but hopefully not. So I'm thinking of bringing Fernandes, and then to replace Cancelo, I'm thinking of going Ake. I am just nervous about having City players now because I never know who's going to be starting. But I think I like the look of this, and it leaves me with 0.7 million in the bank, which I am feeling good about. Plus, it covers me for next week when City have their double game week as well. Now, some of you may be shouting at me through the screen to pick up some Leeds players. I'm not going to do that. I've made up my mind. I think this is what I'm going to go for. I can't factor in the Leeds double game week as well because there's no one that jumps out at me, and I will probably just end up bringing them in for 1 week and 1 week only. And that's not what we're like on this team. We are, in Finding Timo, we are loyal until I get bored. That is the main idea. The only other thing I'm slightly tempted by is taking out Mitrovic and bringing in Nketiah. But I don't know, because I do like the look of this team. There is also, I will have a benching headache. I think in terms of who I'm going to bench, I think it will have to be Nico Williams, Andreas and Mitrovic. I will go full force behind Chelsea. I'll have Kepa in goal, and we will be optimistic that Chelsea are going to secure a win and Fulham aren't going to score anything, hopefully. But that's how I'm thinking of setting up my team. But to help me out, I'm going to put the team into Fantasy Football Hub and then see what my game week rating is. And fingers crossed, it's around 90%. I'd be really happy with that. But let's have a look. We have put it into Fantasy Football Hub. We have a team rating of 85%, which is 5% less than what I was aiming for. But let's have a look at this in detail. So I've changed my mind on what I just said 2 minutes ago. So that's going well. I'm benching Ake. But then I wonder, should I just save my transfer and then have Cancelo on the bench and then play this team instead? And then I can roll a transfer. Then I've got 2 transfers to play around with next week. Let me know in the comments what you think. But this is how my team is shaping up. Now, Kepa is predicted more points than Ward. I am trying to get more behind Chelsea, so we're going to keep Kepa in goal and hope for the best, hope for a little Kepa masterclass. And then I'm happy with my defence. Very happy with Shaw's predicted point. I have 3 players playing in the double game week and they are all United. I know I just had a very sassy moment about not wanting to bring in Leeds players, but now I'm looking at my team and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't transfer out Cancelo and then I bring in a Leeds player instead. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I need to stick with my guns and just go full force United. We are hoping for some big scores. Looking closely at my players, Rashford is predicted the most points, and I am pleased to see that because I'm thinking of triple captaining Rashford. I think this is the week because I don't want to wait for the City fixtures next week. They're playing Arsenal and Villa, which compared to Leeds and Crystal Palace at home, I don't fancy my odds on that one. I'm really, really excited about these fixtures for United and I have a good feeling about them. I've been really impressed in recent weeks with Shaw, with Rashford, with Bruno. So I am going to go full triple captain. We're doing it. We're going behind Rashford. So don't hold me to this because it may get to before the deadline and I will be too nervous. And it's a Friday deadline as well. And I don't know what I'm doing on Friday night because if I am feeling confident, then I will be full. Actually, if I do the triple captaincy on Rashford, the chances are I'll probably forget that the deadline's a Friday and then just stick with it. So if you do see me triple captain Rashford, I have either forgotten to take it off or I'm just feeling confident we are going right behind him. So that's my thoughts on triple captain. We haven't got any detailed analysis here. It's just me being excited to finally use the chip. And impatient, although I wasn't so impatient because I could have used it when everyone used it on Haaland and that flopped. So we're feeling good. Hopefully I will still be as smug after the double game week. But looking at the rest of the team, there's nothing really sort of overwhelming. We're getting into a good position for City's double game week next week. I do need to keep in mind the blank game week 25. I am tempted to bring in Brighton players, but I've seen a lot about Matoma, especially, whoa, that Matoma goal against Liverpool was one of the most impressive goals I've seen in a long time. The control that man has, it's ridiculous. It was so good. I rewatched it multiple times, which is unlike me to rewatch a goal, but yeah, that was incredible. And it also makes me feel really annoyed that I just can't do kick-ups. How can he? Yeah, I don't know. Absolutely baffling. But anyway, I'm tempted to bring in Matoma. Part of me does wonder if he's going to be like Almiron, have really, really good weeks and then suddenly disappear, and everyone would have brought him in by that point. So I think if I bring in Matoma, I have to do it sooner rather than later, and especially if he hauls in loads of points this week and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down, then I'd rather get on the hype sooner. Because with Almiron, I was too late to the party and now he's not coming into my team. And I know that Brighton do have the blank game week in 25, but if he is going to bring me in tons of points, I'd rather just have that. We're about the short-term satisfaction here. This is how my team is lining up. Obviously, we'll put the captaincy onto Rashford instead. And then I think I'm going to vice-captain Bruno. I have just spotted the game week rating is 88%, so that is closer to 90. That's not that bad. I'm going to take it, and predicted points 92.2. We'll see how we get on. Hopefully it's fine. So they are my thoughts ahead of game week 22. Let me know in the comments what you think of my team plans, what you think of my team. Do be nice, because sometimes people aren't, and it's sad. And also let me know what you're planning to do with your teams, whether you've got transfers, if you're taking hits, if you're going to use your triple captain chip. I want to know everything. And subscribe if you haven't already to keep up with the fantasy journey, and I will see you in my next video.